With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Welcome to the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast, brought to you by Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, presented by the Till Valhalla Project, where heroes live on forever.
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and I've got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast for you. Hey, today I want to get into hitting locations as a pitcher and why it's important. So whether your coaches are calling it or your catchers are calling it, everything is pretty much predicated on making sure you're hitting locations. Now, if we're starting out playing 10s and 12s, it's going to be pretty difficult to hit that location over and over. So what you need to do when you're getting your daily reps in or your every other day reps in, make sure you are not just up there throwing pitches to throw pitches. Once you get into your full workout and you're throwing pitches for strikes and you're throwing pitches to hit locations and you're throwing your chase pitches, make your mental notes. And I also have a journal to know what pitch you have good command on today and what good pitch you can throw tomorrow and what pitch works really well next week. And you need to work on that because that way in a game, when one pitch starts to go awry and you can't throw that for a strike or you can't throw that to hit your location, then you can fall back on something and you know that, hey, I have 90% confidence in this pitch. I've got 50% confidence in that pitch. I just learned this new pitch, and you can kind of move on from that. But locations sort of set up the defense if you're looking at it that way. So parents, if you've got young pitchers or coaches, if you're coaching these younger teams and you've got a couple of pitchers that are brand new and really green, it's not all about throwing the ball hard. The older that you get, the girls are going to throw the ball harder and harder. You're going to be hitting mid-60s and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, everybody can catch up to speed. At some point, we can get these hitters to start their bat early, to start their load early. We can get them to close their eyes, and if you throw it right down the middle, they can get that bat into the zone in and out really quick. So location matters, okay? So we may set up inside, and we throw the ball down and away. Our catcher is going to have a tough time getting over there to make that stop. Now, granted, there's some great catchers out there, and they're going to be able to make those stops. But that catcher is going to get worked really hard if we're setting up inside, and every time we do, that pitch goes away. Okay? And the same thing happens if we're expecting something, up and away, and we're throwing something down and in. It is hard to go from where I'm setting up to sliding down. Now, the older that they get, the better catchers are going to be, and they're going to be able to make that. But the defense is looking for something away here. We're thinking something on the right side, and we have a play on or whatever reason, and the ball is down the middle or ripped or something like that. We're kind of taking and we're handcuffing ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that you have to hit your locations every single time and you have to throw strikes every single time. But what you need to do is to be able to throw something to induce softer contact. These girls that are throwing in the top of the zone with 2 strikes, A, we're looking for a strikeout there, but B, if we get a fly ball, that's almost just as good as a strikeout, especially with 2 outs or, if we've got nobody on. A pop fly, no damage done there, right? We just don't want them to be able to barrel the ball up. So if we're sawing them off, or if we're getting off the end of the bat because we're hitting our location, that's good. That's what we're looking for. And I'm no pitching expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I do study it, and I do try to learn from the best. And I do know that you got 9 pockets, if you will, in your strike zone or in your area. But as pitchers, you need to expand on that just a little bit. We may throw a pitch that we know the only way this is going to get us a strike is if they swing and miss at it. But we're setting something up later on. So if we're starting a batter early in the count, we see that she's, as a coach or as a catcher, we see that she's really tight. She's up, hugging the plate pretty good. I'm going to start her off inside. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to start her off inside. I know I'm not trying to hit her, but I am trying to brush her back just a little bit. So then I can start using the outer half of the plate. But if she stays in that area, I'm going to throw it inside, almost a ball on the inside. Because if she hits it, chances are she's getting it off her fist for an easy roller, or she's going to rip it foul. So now I'm ahead of her. I can change speeds, or I can maybe bring it up a little bit or bring it down just a little bit. Now, if I've got a hitter that's backed off just a little bit, I'm trying to throw something that's away. I'm trying to get ahead early. I'm not just going up there and starting every batter off with a fastball, either on the inside corner or the outside corner. I want to have something that I can move. I want the pitch moving. I don't want it to come out of my hand and she sees it, and that's where it's going to be when it gets to the plate. I need some movement on my pitches. So there are times where we are going to end up having to go down the middle, but we don't want it to be straight down the middle. We want it to be either up out of the zone or down below the zone. Get them to swing and miss on something. Try to induce some softer contact. Again, not every pitch that you're throwing needs to be thrown to cover some white. Doesn't even need to be thrown to cover some of the black. Hit your spot to set up the next pitch. You can throw your worst pitch of your life and just sail it over the backstop, or it can hit the ground 15 feet in front of the plate. It doesn't mean that that's the worst pitch ever, because truth be told, that pitch right there needs to set up the next pitch. I know it was a terrible pitch. You didn't mean to do it. We can laugh about it and move on. But she was able to get nothing off of that pitch. She couldn't read that pitch. She couldn't read the spins. Take some positivity from that. So if we miss a sign, if we miss a call, or if we miss a pitch or miss a location, it's not the end of the world. If we throw a great pitch that should have been called a strike, you knew it was a strike, I knew it was a strike, the umpire just called it wrong, the catcher, the batter, everybody in the ballpark knew that pitch was a strike, but it was still called a ball, oh well. We move on from it. We set it up for the next pitch. That's every pitch that we throw is setting up a pitch that's coming after that. That's just how pitching is done. So don't get up there and think about, I've got to throw strikes, got to throw strikes, got to throw strikes. Stop pitching that way and start pitching to hit your locations. Okay? You got your defense behind you. That's why they're there. So as your pitching coach or as your head coach or your catcher, whoever's calling your game, they want you to hit a location. You've got effective pitchers that throw, a lot slower than your power pitchers. But your power pitches, 9 times out of 10 at the lower levels, whether you're playing 10s, 12s, 14s, whatever, flatter, they're straighter. It don't take much to put the barrel and get the ball out of the infield. Now, if you've got somebody that can spin it, hit locations, and they can move the ball in and out, up and down, help you set up some pitches and stuff like that, those are the pitches that are going to be more effective. Speed will come with time. And don't get me wrong, speed is great if you have a changeup and then you have a third speed. But you want to be able to hit your locations. And once you start hitting your locations, you get more confidence in your pitches. Whether you have just two, you have a fastball and a changeup, or you have just a fastball. You haven't, I don't want to say mastered, because I don't know how many 12-year-olds mastered a changeup yet, but or a fastball. But hitting your locations makes you feel great. Even if we call it, a lot of coaches will do this, for instance. You'll call a fastball away, and you'll say, "Give me 5." So I want this ball 5 inches off, or 2 balls off the outside. We're not throwing this pitch for a strike. We're getting her either to get it off the end of the bat, or swing and miss, or for her to take it, just so that she's now protecting that outside corner, knowing that, hey, she's got this outside fastball in her arsenal, and then we're maybe setting up something low and in on the next pitch, or up and in on the hands. So we may not, call a pitch to throw a strike. We're calling a pitch to get a reaction, to get her to do something, so we can set up the next pitch. So again, I'm not a pitching expert. I'm looking at it from the coaching side, how I coach my girls, so we can be effective defensively behind her. The pitching is a huge world. A lot of different pitching instructors, a lot more knowledgeable than I am about the pitching mechanics and stuff like that. I'm talking about it from the coach's side, the strategy side, as far as calling a game. So coaches try to help build confidence in the pitches that your girls have, and use those locations. Maybe we have just 2 locations. We have white and black. It's up and down. We might have red and green, in and out. And we just throw our pitches. Maybe we only have four quadrants, or we have quadrants. Instead of 9, we have 4. It's either up and away, down and in, up and in, down and away, and that's it. We aim small, we miss small, and we just try to hit locations. The game will kind of dictate where you're throwing and the locations that you want to set up. But if you see a girl, she comes up and we threw an outside fastball, she drove it to right field, probably don't want to throw her the next time she comes up that same pitch, right? We want to set her up differently. Maybe go some off speed, maybe go down and in, maybe get her to chase something, get her moving in the box. Pay attention to the batter's feet. That's going to help you as a coach and as a catcher. Get your catchers to kind of identify stuff. You call a pitch, let your catcher call the location, because she can see it. Start there. But eventually the catchers need to call the game, because they're in tune with what that pitcher is throwing for success. Is she hitting her locations? Because the angles that we have are a little bit off. We'll think one is a dead strike, and it was just off, and the catcher will take. So help build confidence in that catcher too. They can call a game. So there's a lot that you can get from that. If you got a coach, you got a friend, or someone that would like this information, or just get this perspective on things, man, please share it. And when you do, you tell them you love them.
Picking up all the pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back.